Hey, how you doing? John Michaelides, Real Property Management of Sarasota Manatee here. The question often comes up, should I hire a property manager, right? Should you hire a property manager? And it surprises people sometime, talking to me, the owner of a residential property management and leasing company, that my answer is, I don't know. they think I'm going to launch into some sales job and yes, you should, and here's the 50 reasons. No, I don't. If I don't know you, I don't know if you should hire a property manager or not. But what I do know are the questions that you should be asking yourself in answering that question for yourself. You see, I know the issues that you should be taking into consideration when coming to a decision as to whether or not you should hire a professional property management and leasing company like Real Property Management in Sarasota and Manatee. It comes down to money, time, expertise, and inclination. Money, time, expertise, and inclination. If you cannot afford to hire a professional property management company, then you can't afford to hire a professional property management company. That's that. End of story. If you own a property that will rent for, I'm making up numbers, $1,500 a month, and your mortgage payment is $1,900 a month, and you can't afford to come up with that spread, then it's a moot point. There's nothing to consider. So obviously the first thing to consider is whether or not it makes sense financially. Now, let's assume that that's not the issue. You certainly could afford to hire a property manager. In the scheme of things, we're not all that expensive. And if you're not upside down on your property, the odds are, financially speaking, it makes good sense. But what about the other considerations? Time. Obviously, if you have a rental property, the decision isn't so much should you hire a property management company as it is should I hire a property management company or do it myself, because somebody's going to have to manage the property if you own a rental. So the real question is, should I do it myself or not? Should I hire it out? So time. It's time intensive. The leasing portion is very time intensive. People calling and scheduling and then not showing up and running back and forth, 5 times a week. And then when you get it rented, the maintenance calls and there's time and the odd hours, and they have your cell phone and Christmas Eve, and there's time involved. It will take you more time than you imagine. That I guarantee you. And it's just a matter of whether or not you have the time. There are some people that are retired and live across the street and they've got nothing but time. If that's you, then you've got the time. So check that box. But say you're a doctor with 15 rental homes. You don't have time, man. You just don't have time. All right? So money, time, expertise. Do you know anything about leasing? Do you know anything about advertising? Do you know anything about tenant screening? Do you know the fair housing laws, the Americans with Disabilities Act, Florida Statute 83, Landlord-Tenant Act? Do you know the rules with respect to service animals? Do you know all of the landmines out there that could explode in your face if you don't dot every single I and cross your T's. And there are people out there whose professional job is to trap you. So do you have the expertise to self-manage? And finally, do you have the inclination? Let's say you can afford it. Let's say you do have the time and you do have the expertise. You could self-manage. No need to hire a property manager. But inclination, you just don't feel like it. You just don't want to be bothered. Yes, I'm retired. Yes, I live across the street. And I want to be out on my boat. I don't want to deal with plunging the toilet. So, those are the considerations. Now, only you can decide whether or not it makes sense for you to hire a property manager or not. If you think you might want to hire a professional property management and leasing company, contact my team, Real Property Management of Sarasota and Manatee, 941-225-8183. And have a great day and God bless you. Bye-bye.